Hello, my name is Dr. Bryan Cox, and again, welcome to You and Your Spine. Today we'll be talking about this deadly disease that most people don't know about, and that is called the subluxation. Now, if you break that word down, sub means less than. Lux means light or life, and ation is a state of. So when you have a subluxation, you have less than light or life in your body. You basically have a misalignment in your body. And a lot of you, they've heard of the word, they've heard of tooth decay, but they have not heard of spinal decay. And spinal decay is even worse than tooth decay. Now, I recently went to the dentist because I had tooth decay, and it was very painful. It was not nice at all. Now, you know, when you look at me on the screen, you say, hey, this guy, he has nice teeth. You see, I have nice teeth. But that's from the outside. But inside, deep down inside, is that thing called a cavity. And that's where the spinal decay comes, that tooth decay comes in. Now, what I'm talking to you now about is spinal decay. Now, spinal decay occurs year in and year out. It takes time for spinal decay to come out. And it actually can start from the first day of birth. Okay? Now, let me first show you here the spinal decay chart. You got normal, you have phase 1, which is a subluxation, phase 2, which is decay, and then phase 3, which is fusion. Phase 1 is what we call a subluxation. A lot of you have what we call a subluxation and don't even realize it. And a subluxation is basically when the bone has shifted out of alignment and it has put pressure on the nerves that sends information to specific areas there. That's what a subluxation is. It just puts pressure on the nerves that sends information to certain areas. Now, the difference between a normal spine and a subluxated spine or phase 1 spine is that you notice the disc has reduced in size a little bit, and also some osteophytes or unhealthy arthritic bone spurs are starting to form. Okay? Now, after phase 1 occurs, if you don't do something about that, it will then go to phase 2, which is called decay. You see how the disc is compressed even more. See, these discs are what we call shock absorbers. And when those discs have compressed, it also compresses and puts pressure on the nerves that sends information to certain areas. So you can have those yawa-yawas that we don't like. Okay? We don't want us to have the spinal problems and the waist problems and other things. Okay? Now, if we don't take care of it during this stage, it will then get to the third phase, which is fusion. Now, even though this looks very bad, even though I have some people that come to my office and they have a spine looking like this, for those of you out there that's looking at this, it doesn't look nice at all, does it? We don't want it to get to this point, because at this point, you may need operation. Now, I don't necessarily like operations for anybody, but in this case, you may have to have an operation for it. But even when you're at this stage, you still need to get your spine checked and taken care of on a regular basis. Because if you don't do that, your body will not respond to its optimal level. Okay? So let's work on preventing spinal decay. Let's work on preventing spinal decay and take care of our spine. And one of the ways of doing that, or a few of the ways of doing that, is by eating the right types of foods, exercising, getting a proper rest, as well as keeping a positive attitude. And of course, getting chiropractic care from the Spinal Clinic. So until next time, thank you for joining You and Your Spine.